In the Marvel Universe, the Winter Guard is a team of Soviet-era superheroes noted for being Russia's answer to the Avengers, with most of its members having many similarities to their Western counterparts. In this video, we'll take a look at how this team could appear live action in the MCU, as some of its members have already been introduced onto the big screen. Note that this doesn't have to be 100% comic accurate, just like how Marvel took many liberties in adapting the Avengers onto the big screen from the comics. We'll start with the most obvious one, Red Guardian. Alexei Shostakov was introduced in the MCU in the recent Black Widow movie, being Russia's answer to Captain America. The Soviet super soldier in red has always been an important part of the Winter Guard, although in the comics Alexei Shostakov hasn't really been part of the team. Just like there have been many Captain Americas, there have also been many different individuals carrying the Red Guardian mantle, and it was Joseph Petkus and the other Red Guardians after him who became affiliated with the Winter Guard. So the MCU could either just ignore that and place Alexei in the Winter Guard, or just introduce another Red Guardian to the show and make him go against the new Captain America. The Black Widow movie also introduced us to Ursa, who in the comics is a mutant with the ability to shapeshift into a brown bear. You could even say that he's the first mutant to be introduced in the MCU if you ignore these two twins who are dubbed as miracles instead of mutants. He hasn't been shown to have any powers yet, with the Red Guardian easily breaking his wrist in an arm wrestling match and mocking him afterwards, calling him a big bear. Although the nature of their powers are different, Ursa is the rough counterpart of the Avengers' Hulk, who also undergoes a transformation that increases both his size and strength. It will definitely be interesting to see an animal shape-shifting mutant in the MCU.
The only thing you care about are your stupid glory days is the Crimson Dynamo, and no one wants to hear about it.
Crimson Dynamo is the Russian equivalent of Iron Man, a genius scientist in an advanced suit of armor. In the comics, the original Crimson Dynamo was Anton Vanko, a character who has already been introduced in the MCU, as seen in Agent Carter and Iron Man 2. He's the father of Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash. I think he's dead already, but Marvel could always find a way to bring him back as Crimson Dynamo. Now, the other Winter Guard characters are not so obvious as they haven't been introduced yet in the MCU, but the problem can be dealt with quite easily. There's Red Widow, Darkstar, the android Vostok, the Slavic thunder god Perun, among others, all of them having a Western counterpart with similar abilities affiliated with the Avengers and having already appeared in the MCU. For Red Widow, they could easily use any of the girls who went through the Red Room program to become Red Widow. Maybe even reuse Antonia Dreykov, who had been the Red Room's commander while under the control of her father. And for the character Darkstar, who has the ability to use the Dark Force, well, we've already seen several characters using that very same black extra-dimensional energy, such as Whitney Frost in Agent Carter, and also Tyrone Johnson, aka Cloak. So Darkstar's powers itself isn't something unheard of in the MCU. And then there's Perun, the Slavic god of thunder, basically the Eastern European version of Thor. Marvel always has a way of explaining the nature behind mythological figures in the real world, such as how they made the Norse gods into aliens who inspired the creation of Earth's Norse mythology in the first place. It is revealed that the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder movie will feature the Greek god Zeus, so this confirms that other pantheons of gods exist in the MCU besides just the Norse one. So why not the Slavic pantheon, which has Perun, god of thunder, and maybe even introduce Chernobog, another Slavic god who is also part of the Winter Guard in the comics. I feel like I'm just going on and on here with no point. But to put it simply, the MCU could really grow a lot larger in the years to come. They could introduce the Winter Guard, who are the Russian Avengers, and maybe later other groups like the Ascendants, who are the Chinese Avengers, and the list could go on and on.